Hi, I'm Murray Johnson. Today we have a growing number of condominium owners who want to be involved in every aspect of governing a condominium corporation. We also have a growing number of directors who want to see those owners participating. And this is usually done through that structure called a committee. Not all committees, however, work out that well. Today I'm joined by Dean McCabe. You're the founder and president of the Meritus Group Management, Inc. Yes. Welcome, Dean. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I know you've been managing for a lot longer than you want to admit.
Yeah.
And we've done some work together in the past. And I know, Dean, you've seen it. The bruised egos, the hurt feelings, the misguided groups thinking they're really helping when they're not. This committee thing can go south pretty quick. Can you share a little bit of the ugly side with us?
Sure, Murray. It's you're absolutely right. 25 years, anybody that's managed in this industry for any length of time has seen the ugly side. And it normally starts with committees that don't get off on the right foot right at the very beginning. The scope is not clear. And sometimes committees that don't understand their role and the role that the board is giving them. For example, a group of unit owners that may, for example, set up a finance committee. The board asks them to be on a finance committee, and they feel that somehow empowers them now to go out and start canceling contracts or bringing new contracts and making changes to things the board is doing. And so I think that it's very important, if those committee structures are going to be successful, to ensure that they get off on the right foot right at the beginning with a good scope and an understanding between both the board members and the committee members of exactly what they're being asked to do. Oh
yeah, clear mandate right from the start. I can see how easily without that people's feelings would get hurt, people would get embarrassed. But I've also seen some good stuff too. I mean, committees can do good things.
Oh, for sure.
But if that's the downside that we just talked about, what can we do to avoid that?
Well, I think the secret to avoiding that is making sure that right at the beginning that everyone has a clear understanding. If a board is setting up, for example, let's say a decorating committee, make sure that the members of that committee know what their budget is, know what they're being asked to do, know that they're not being given carte blanche on redecorating the condominium, but we're looking only at the party room. Maybe say we're really looking at furnishing. So, don't come to us with a whole plan that involves taking out walls and getting rid of the gymnasium. So I think that scope right at the beginning and an understanding of what the budget is as well will really help ensure that the input of the owners is going to have an opportunity to be well received by the board.
Okay. All right. Clear mandates, limited scopes. That makes sense. But really, aren't we just talking about lip service here? Come and help us out, but do it our way. Isn't that really what we're talking about?
Well, I understand that it can be perceived that way, but it really doesn't have to be. When the board of directors gives up some of that authority by involving unit owners, when they decide that they want their community to benefit from the energy and the knowledge of a wider group of owners, they really do have an obligation to ensure that information is well received. And I think that's really important. One of the ways that they can do that is just ensure that when they're giving a committee a mandate, that they actually ask them to come back with multiple options. Come back with 2, maybe 3 options. In the same way that management would have to provide 2 or 3 options for a contractor, that way the committee understands that the ultimate decision is still the board's, but they still do have a lot of input and a lot of opportunity to ensure that the scope of that one committee is going to be successful.
Okay, so the board should be open to accepting something from the committee, not just our way or the highway.
And the committee does need to understand as well that they weren't elected, that the board members were. And so they can have a very harmonious relationship, just have to ensure that it gets off to a good start and that everybody understands what the expectations are.
Good points. They're not elected. Thanks for that, Dean.
Thanks.
We all heard the story that a camel is a horse designed by a committee, but it doesn't have to be that way in your condominium. Have that interaction, have that chat, and you can share the authority and the governance of the condominium corporation in a successful manner. Until next time, I'm Murray Johnson, and this has been your Condo Connection.